Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. In fact, if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is Hope Brings Healing. And that is because some of the planets have moved around into more favorable positions. So things are looking a little bit more hopeful right now. And that is because although there are no planets in any of the air signs, the planets are in trines, which are very good aspects among the earth signs, the fire signs, and there's a grand trine in the water signs, which can be very nice. At the same time, there is still a harsh T-cross among cardinal signs. And what that means is that we have the moon in Cancer today, and it is being squared by Mars in Aries, which is very strong. The moon rules Cancer, but Mars rules Aries, and they're not getting along. And then that moon and Mars are also square and opposing three planets in Capricorn: Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn. Now, some of those planets in Capricorn are getting ready to leave pretty soon, Jupiter and Saturn. But for right now, these very strong planets who have the rulers of their signs in their own sign, but are all in harsh aspect to each other, means that we continue to have to face a lot of challenges right now. And what can define the challenges is that whoever's doing the challenges thinks they're right. And everyone who's challenging thinks that they're right. Well, nobody can be right all the time. And so there can be conflicting viewpoints. But on top of that, there are a lot of planets that are very harmoniously trining each other. And to start with, we have 4 planets in the earth signs, because Uranus in Taurus, which is a very slow mover, it takes 84 years before it gets around the chart even once. That Uranus in Taurus is trining that Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn, and together those 4 planets are also trining the sign of Virgo. So there can be hopeful job possibilities around. They may not be big, huge, high-paying jobs, but they could be the kind of job that gives you a little extra money at Christmas time. Well, everybody could use that. Or they could lead to a better job opportunity down the road, maybe even a very secure future for you. Who knows? Because Capricorns are very security-minded, and those 3 powerhouse planets, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn, simply mean that there's a lot of people around that are being very realistic right now, and very practical, and very business conscious, but also cost conscious right now. And that's to the good. That simply means that if, no matter how much or how little money you have, if you're just real careful with how you spend it or how you make it, you may be able to have a rather nice Christmas holiday season. After all, there is some hope for healing right now, because there's another trine in the fire signs. Oh, we haven't seen that in a while. And that's because that Mars in Aries, and remember Mars rules that sign and that rules new beginnings, is trining the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius. And we're about to have a solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So that's going to be exciting when that occurs. But for right now, with Mars trining the Sun and Mars trining Mercury, any kind of new beginning that you're thinking about, it could be rather well favored right now. And those 3 planets in fire signs are also trining the sign of Leo. And Leo rules children and love affairs and sports and the entertainment world. It also rules gambling, and it rules horse racing, for instance, and it rules a lot of fun. So that's what I mean. There is some hope for healing, or there is some hope for a brighter outlook right now. And maybe even you can make some more money right now if you were out looking particularly for a part-time job or a second job of some sort. What's wrong with that? It would be good for you. And then the third trine that's going on is the grand trine in water signs. Ooh, the water signs rule healing, and they rule a way of understanding and being a little bit more sympathetic. And boy, is that well aspected right now. Beautifully so. And the reason why is that Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and it is now direct. And it is moving forward, perhaps revealing a lot of secrets behind the scenes that can enlighten people. After all, a lot of people are wondering, gee, how do we get in a mess like this? Well, maybe in one way or another, people can come up with some answers right now, or at least put their heads together and make some good plans right now. Because that Neptune in Pisces is trining Venus in Scorpio. And that simply means, since Venus is in the sign of justice, that justice will be done in a fair and balanced way, even when those secrets are revealed. And that is because Venus rules the law and all legal contracts, but it rules fairness and balance. So particularly in a situation where you have to administer justice, it will be fair and balanced, and that can lead hopeful outcomes and more healing. And then those 2 planets are also trining the moon today in Cancer, and the moon rules Cancer. It also rules women, and it rules our homes and our country, and it also rules Canada, and it rules manual labor. It rules making things. It rules mining. It rules the whole food business. It rules agriculture, and it rules mom and pop restaurants and good home cooking. And it rules the ability for people to sort of get together, and even if they're not blood relatives, they can feel like family in one way or another. And that's perfect for the holidays, don't you think? So there can be a lot of hope right now for healing in different ways, whether those ways are based on truth or on justice or on just some reconciliations that can occur among your own family members. Because I think with the grand trine in water sign, what it means is that a lot of people are deciding to be more sympathetically understanding of others. You know, not judgmental like that harsh T-cross and cardinal signs, but sympathetic and understanding. And of course, that can bring a lot of healing. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you can be sort of the Energizer Bunny. And the reason why is you've got the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius trining Mars in your sign. And together those 3 planets are also trining the sign of Leo as well. Sagittarius does rule long-distance travel and people from foreign countries. It rules the courts and higher education, and there is a solar eclipse coming up in that sign real quickly. And so that simply means, Aries, that you, now that Mars is direct in your sign, are beginning to think of formulating some new plan of yours. And year-end is a good time to be doing that. In other words, if you're thinking of moving on, this could be a planning time for you. If you are thinking of making a change in your home or you're thinking of making a change in your job, the prospects are very good. Remember, even if it's just part-time work, there's some good job opportunities out there right now that can lead to long-term security. So I don't think that you'd be taking a gamble right now, Aries, by deciding you want to go in a new direction and sort of putting your feelers out right now. Why don't you do that? Because you've got the backing of that wonderful sun in Sagittarius, and there's going to be a solar eclipse in that sign as well. And so that is really going to sort of give you a boost, Aries. And so I hope you look at the bright side. And remember, this is a really good time for hope and healing. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is still a very good time for you to be career-minded and to be thinking not just about the money involved in a career choice, but in what you love doing, or in the purpose for your career, or its long-term effects, or what you're looking for in the end, even after the career is over. All of those things, those sort of long-term issues, are favored right now, Taurus, because the 3 planets in Capricorn are trining Uranus in your own sign. And there is nothing really stopping you too much. In fact, you're favored also to have some pretty good luck with your investments. But I want to caution you, Taurus, particularly with Venus in Scorpio, since Scorpio rules taxes, that if you make a bundle, if you sell something and you make a lot of money right now, you will owe more in taxes. So you can't sort of get away with 100% profit. You're going to owe a little back, but that might be all right with you. So this is a good time to be thinking like that and redistributing your assets in one way or another, because there's going to be so much gridlock, particularly financial gridlock next year, that you might miss a good opportunity if you don't act on it pretty quick. All right, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when you are sort of in a holding pattern. And the reason why is because there aren't any planets in the air signs. And there's nothing in Aquarius, there's nothing in your sign, and there's nothing in Libra. And so what are you supposed to do right now, Gemini? Well, one thing you could do is sort of take a break or take a rest, or just slow down a little bit right now and give yourself some time either to be thinking of others, like your family members. That's because the moon is in Cancer right ahead of your sun sign, so there can be some home and family activities you could participate in. But also, this could be a valuable time heading into the holidays when you might want to be doing some real good planning for next year. And this could be sort of the lull before the storm. Before you get a plan underway, you better check and make sure it's the right plan, or it's the one that you can afford, because this would be a good time to do that. So, with the solar eclipse in Sagittarius coming up very soon, and because the solar eclipse will oppose your sun sign, Gemini, I wouldn't do anything rash right now. I wouldn't make any impulsive decisions. I wouldn't spend a lot of money. I wouldn't really do anything at the moment. I think if you are sort of quietly making your own plans and not advertising them, that would be a good idea. Just try, mum's the word from now until Christmas, Gemini, because that way you'll be getting more information that will help you focus for the future. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, remember I said there's a grand trine in the water signs right now. That certainly indicates hope for healing in a lot of different ways. And so because the moon is your ruler and it's in your sign, Cancer, you can be thinking of your home and your family, and you may really have your mind on a serious move of one sort or another, and you should keep thinking about that, Cancer. That is very well aspected right now, because you would have some extra money around to sort of help pay for that, with Venus in Scorpio trining your sun. And then as secrets come out that have been hidden behind the scenes, in one way or another, they will add more healing and hope and understanding to your plans. They may be secrets about of former activities that other family members have taken part in. Maybe you didn't know what was going on before. But when you're enlightened, that's when you could be more sympathetic and more understanding. So I think there's the possibility, even if you don't make a move right now, you could be making some real serious plans about that, Cancer. And they're extremely well aspected right now. And also, I think you've got the backing of family members or friends, or there can be some sort of healing just from you thinking a little bit more of what can make you comfortable, particularly at home. So keep that up. I think that you can be successful in that. You may even want to just remodel something or even fix something up, and that would work out well. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, oh boy, remember I said there are trines all over the place right now, and it's happening in the fire signs, Leo. There isn't a planet in your sign right now, but oh boy, that Mars in Aries is beautifully trining your sun, and then the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius are also trining your sun, which means that if you're making any travel plans, or you're involved with people from foreign countries, or you're thinking about going back to school and perhaps furthering your career with an advanced degree, all the things that Sagittarius rules, you would be thinking along the right lines, Leo. And the reason why is that there's going to be a solar eclipse in Sagittarius. There's going to be more light in Sagittarius. And with both the Sun and Moon there trining your sun, I just think that you're going to be able to either make that long distance trip, or you're going to be able to be involved with a court matter or a higher education matter, and it's going to work out quite well. And it could represent some sort of new beginning. Because remember, Mars is in Aries. It rules Aries, and it's trining your sun. So some sort of new beginning that involves education would work out really well for you, Leo. You don't have anything to worry about that. You also could take it step by step. You wouldn't have to do the whole deal. But at least try to consider enlarging your sphere of influence or understanding, because this is a perfect time to do it. There will be 3 eclipses in Sagittarius. There will be one this year, and then there's one a lunar eclipse in the summertime, and then there's another solar eclipse in Sagittarius next Christmas. So, you know, Leo, if you wanted to change course a little bit and enhance your career at the same time, this is a good time to do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It matters that you're directed towards something new and better that will allow you to take a step up. That's what you need. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when there are trines in the earth signs as well. And it's wonderful for you, Virgo, because you're a very practical person. Accounting is ruled by your sign, and so is service to others, and the whole healthcare field is ruled by your sign. And so Uranus in Taurus is trining your sun, and so are Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn. These are very strong planets, because the speed of Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto is so different. It's amazing that they all ended up in the same sign this year. And so these planets trine your sun, Virgo. In a way, it sort of means that if you've been real intent on sticking with a program, or you have been very dedicated, to putting one foot in front of the other and doing your job to the best of your ability, you could have been seeing rewards for that by this fall, and certainly recognition. And there's more to come. There could even be more by Christmas time. So as these planets wind up their stay, Saturn and Jupiter will leave Capricorn and go into Aquarius. And so the magic of those 3 planets in that sign will be gone, and you might have to work a little harder for your rewards after that. But I would say that you have been able to improve your lot in life while these 3 planets have been, and Uranus have been trining your sun. And I think there's more good news to come, so good for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, there aren't any planets in any of the air signs. Oh, darn it. Nobody's coming up with any electrifying new ideas right now. You know why, Libra? It's because we're all tired. And we're facing the holidays, and we're not really ready for that. And we don't exactly know what we're doing as far as the disruptions that have occurred in our life already this year. Should they continue? Should they slow down? When are we going to get back to normal? All these questions that we want to have answers to can be a little bit hard to come by. So you might go by, sometimes when a person doesn't know what direction to take in life, you would always want to look at where your sun sign ruler is. Because the aspects to your sun sign ruler can tell you whether you've got a green light somewhere else or not. And in fact, Venus, your ruler, Libra, is right ahead of your sun sign in Scorpio. And it's part of a grand trine in the water signs. So there is some healing coming your way, Libra. And it's been a long time coming. It's not anything that just happened. It may have happened quite a long time ago, but the healing is coming. And that simply means that as we heal, we can be more sympathetically understanding of what went on in the past. And we can be ready to get over it and go on. And so, yes, there will be some justice done. You know, truth, justice in the American way. That's what you got when you live here. And so that can be happening for you, Libra, and that can be very good. You have been through a year of pressure, and it can be pressure from different sides. It may not be pressure that you created, but you might have been the victim of it. And now I think you can slow down a little bit because justice is going to be done. And there can be a lot of hope and healing, particularly this Christmas. So you're not going to have as much to worry about as you think, Libra. So I hope you enjoy that. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, oh, Venus is in your sign. It's being trined beautifully by the rulers of two other water signs, by the moon in Cancer, which is very strong, and by Neptune, which is now direct in Pisces and is also very strong. And with Venus in your own sign, I think that that simply means, Scorpio, that you can judge a situation in a very fair and balanced way. In other words, you won't be giving preferential treatment to any one side over another, that you will be somewhat exact in your estimation of fairness in a matter that involves the what to do about the revelation of secret activities behind the scenes. You know, when that information comes out, something's going to have to be done. And if you are involved in handling that information, I think you'll do it in a very fair way, and that will involve some sort of healing that could even, in fact, affect your family relationships, because the moon in Cancer is trining your sun. It would certainly affect your country. And so I think that's going to turn out a little better than you think. That would be rather good. But it will be a sort of a soft and sympathetic understanding, but it will definitely be a lot of healing. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, with the sun in your sign, oh boy, and Mars trining it, you can be just winding up or even tying up some loose ends as you get ready to think about starting something new, and it may be in 2021. In other words, maybe you have to get over the holidays first and then start it in January. But you're really going to do it, Sagittarius. If I were you, I would just try to do one thing in 2021. And it is take the high road. Okay? That means don't settle for less. Take the high road. You're worth it. Or take the one that it's the high road, but a little hard to get up there. Go ahead. Keep trying. You've got a lot of help. You're going to have a lot of help next year, Sagittarius. You know, there's eclipses, 3 of them in your sign. And so this is a time when if you take the high road and you stick with it and you do it for the right reasons, as if you're following a special star or a guidance from above, you will really succeed. So this is a time, in fact, one of the most important times in your life, when doing the right thing is what it's all about. And I think you're going to be successful. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, you know, you can feel as if you're winding something up too. And you know, it might be almost a little bit like trying to find the last piece in a jigsaw puzzle. You could have been working all year trying to put different pieces together to make either a new life or to make your life have more meaning. And for that, you would have had to sort of clear out a few things and get over a few disappointments and still have something left to show for that. Well, I think that you have been successful in that, Capricorn. Okay, so you may not have the same attitude that you had last January about a few people or about the work that you're doing or about your future or your sense of security. But I think now you've got some pared down vision of what you really want and who and what you want in your life. And somehow it rings really true. You do know what you're doing, Capricorn. And you can do it and be in complete command of your own talent. And that's important because it's taken probably your whole life to realize that, well, you owe it to yourself. You know, if you're really talented, do not hide your light under a bushel any longer. Time is marching on. Keep going and let the world know that your talents are out there, Capricorn. People will love to see that. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, there aren't any planets in any of the air signs, but there are going to be 2 planets in your sign coming up real quick, Aquarius. And that's going to set off some reactions. And then that's going to change the way we do things in 2021. And that's because those planets aren't going to move too much. Because in the middle of December, Jupiter and Saturn are going to go into your sign, Aquarius. And Jupiter's going to stay there a year, although it temporarily leaves in the spring, but it'll come back until the rest of 2021, and then it will move on. But Saturn is going to stay there 2.5 to 3 years, and this will be a time of a trial for you, Aquarius, and very hard work, okay? And you know you can do it. It is just going to take a lot of focusing. And whatever you're expecting right now to happen in 2021, I would not bet the farm on that, Aquarius, because as soon as Saturn and Jupiter come into your sun sign, they will immediately begin to square Uranus in Taurus. That's important for you because Uranus is your own sun sign ruler. But it gets a little worse. Mars will go into Taurus. So it'll be Mars and Uranus in Taurus next year for part of the time, and then squaring Saturn and Jupiter in your sign. You are going to be tested next year. And even if you pass one test, there will be another for the next 2.5 to 3 years, Aquarius. But you're going to come out really strong. And next year could be a good year for you because Saturn or Jupiter is there for most of the year, not in the spring, but for most of the year. So all I can say, Aquarius, is I would lower my expectations a little bit and just be happy if you get through next year unscathed. You will be very tired, though. I would plan a real good vacation by next Christmas. You will deserve it. So for right now, there can be hope through healing. But you may not notice that too much simply because I think you're going to be too busy. But don't worry, you'll do fine. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time, since yours is a water sign and there's a grand trine in water signs, it simply means that there is hope for healing right now. And it's healing in many different ways and with all kinds of people and in all kinds of situations. And it can happen just in an instant, or it can happen in a big flashy way, but it's going to happen. Pisces, and you know you're going to be around for that sympathetic understanding, particularly among family members, that comes through healing. And maybe it's that other people are going to, as secrets come out from behind the scenes, others will begin to more sympathetically understand the past. And when they do that, and when you do that, then you are going to be able to heal and go on yourself, which is good. You've been holding things inside of you, Pisces, and now you don't have to do that anymore. You can let people know what's going on and how you're feeling. Sometimes there's a time for just thinking and other times for talking. And now is a good time for you to do a little explaining, Pisces, because I think other people will understand and sympathize with you. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show and read our blog on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.